Chosen one, let these words reach deep into the core of your being. There is a night coming, perhaps tonight, when the veil between who you have been and who you are destined to become will be lifted in such a dramatic way that come morning you will hardly recognize yourself. This is not empty hyperbole. This is not a casual statement said merely for effect. It is a pronouncement for the 1% of those who feel an unrelenting tug in their spirit, a quiet voice that refuses to be silenced. If your heart quickens at the mere thought that you might be included in such a rare group, then keep listening, because this message is your invitation to a single night of transformation that could alter your destiny forever. Before we venture further, align your energy with the power of decisive action. Like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment with the number 777. This threefold act is not just a virtual gesture. It symbolizes the unlocking of a door, a statement that you are ready for the shift that is about to be revealed. By doing so, you send a signal to your soul, your environment, and yes, even the spiritual forces around you that you refuse to remain on the sidelines any longer. Picture the version of yourself you are today, the dreams that have shaped you, the fears that have held you back, and the silent hopes you dare not speak out loud for fear of sounding naive. Now, imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that every limitation you once believed defined you has been shattered. Every excuse that slowed your progress has evaporated, and every ounce of faith you held close to your chest has blossomed into unstoppable momentum. That is the essence of the night we are talking about. A turning point so potent that it catapults you into a new reality. Why a single night? Because nights are symbolic. Nights are when distractions quiet down, when the rest of the world goes to sleep, and you are left alone with your thoughts, your regrets, your yearnings, and that small spark of possibility that refuses to be extinguished. Throughout history, many pivotal events, revelations, breakthroughs, even epic struggles have taken place under cover of darkness. There is something sacred about those hours when you cannot rely on the sun's light, when your own inner light must become your guide. In that space, if you allow yourself to remain open and vigilant, you can receive the kind of clarity that typically eludes you in the bustle of daytime activity. For the 1%, those who feel singled out by destiny, a single night can become the crucible for lasting transformation. You might be asking, what does it mean that I won't recognize myself? Think of the times you have glimpsed a bigger life, moments when your confidence soared because you felt a future calling you, shining just on the horizon. Then everyday reality tugged you back into old patterns. But in this single night, the shift is so profound that the old patterns lose their grip. What used to scare you no longer intimidates you. What used to tempt you no longer holds appeal. You become laser-focused on the path that resonates with your highest calling. And your reflection in the mirror, both literal and metaphorical, appears changed, as though you have shed layers of doubt and fear that once weighed you down. No, this does not mean every trial in your life magically disappears by morning. Rather, it means the lens through which you see these trials changes so drastically that you approach them with a level of faith and boldness that stuns not only you, but also those who have known you for years. The transformations that occur, be they in your mindset, your habits, your spiritual sensitivity, are so unmistakable that even your closest companions will notice your unwavering calm, your newly found vigor, and your unshakable conviction. That is the power of one night, in which you fully embrace the destiny beckoning you forward. So how do you prepare for this night that can redefine your future? The first step is to make a solemn decision to be open. Skepticism may try to whisper that you have heard all this before, that people don't really change overnight, that you should keep your expectations low to avoid disappointment. But understand that skepticism is a defense mechanism that keeps you anchored to the realm of the familiar. To break free, you must dare to believe that something extraordinary can indeed happen for you, not just for others in motivational stories, but for you personally. Open your mind and your heart to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, the path you have been searching for will become crystal clear in a single sweeping moment of revelation. Another essential step is to silence the noise. The world around you is full of voices, some well-meaning, some not, each with an opinion about who you should be and what you should strive for. Social media algorithms show you highlight reels that either spark envy or false comparison. Friends and family members might have their own ideas of what success looks like for you, urging you to follow the safe route, or perhaps no route at all. However, in the stillness of the night, none of those voices matter. What matters is the stir of your soul. Even if it whispers, it speaks truth. So carve out space. Turn off unnecessary distractions, quiet your phone, or place it on the other side of the room. Devote the night to introspection, prayer, meditation, whatever method helps you tune into the deeper current of your being. This process is not passive. You do not simply go to sleep and hope to wake up changed. No, it requires you to engage with your own heart. You might find yourself journaling under dim light, tears possibly streaming as you confront the corners of your mind that you have avoided for so long. You might find yourself pacing the floor, a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through your veins, because deep down you sense that this is real, that you are about to cross a threshold from which there is no return. In those moments, all the illusions you cling to, pride, excuses, victimhood, must be put aside to allow genuine change to take root. You may recall moments in your past when you nearly touched the hem of this breakthrough, nights where you felt a spark, but for some reason it didn't flame into the full fire you desired. You might even think you failed in those times. Let me assure you, those prior attempts were not failures, they were rehearsals. They served to prime your heart for this very night. Often, the universe or destiny or God, whatever name resonates with you, works in layered approaches, giving you tastes of what is possible so that when the main course is served, you are able to recognize it and fully partake. During the lead-up to this night, do not be surprised if you face sudden obstacles. You might experience an unexpected emotional low, a conflict with someone you care about, or a barrage of doubts pounding your mind. Sometimes the greatest resistance arises right before a major victory. Do not let these diversions rob you of the transformation that is about to unfold. Instead, see them for what they are: last-ditch efforts by your old self, or even negative spiritual forces trying to keep you stuck in the same loop. The best response is simply to persevere, to keep your eyes on the internal beacon calling you forward. Remind yourself that turbulence before the shift is not a sign you are on the wrong path. It is evidence that you are on the brink of something monumental. Perhaps you are wondering, what if I go through the motions and still wake up feeling the same tomorrow? That is a fair question. The truth is, the level of transformation you experience is directly linked to the level of openness and sincerity you bring to this moment. If you merely skim the surface, offering a half-hearted attempt, you may see minimal change. But if you pour your heart out, utterly, rawly, holding nothing back, then there is no limit to the metamorphosis that can occur. Ultimately, the night is a vessel, but you decide how fully to fill it with your faith, your honesty, and your burning desire to become more than who you have been. This journey is also about letting go of illusions you have entertained for too long. Perhaps you have worn a mask to please others, or contorted yourself to fit a role you secretly despise. Perhaps you have been ignoring the glaring signs that your job, your circle, your habits are stifling the greatness within you. In just one night, you can choose to release those illusions. It might feel terrifying, because illusions, even painful ones, often create a sense of false security. Yet once you relinquish them, you gain something infinitely more valuable: authenticity, alignment, and an unbreakable sense of purpose. When your external life finally matches the internal calling of your soul, you experience a harmony that words fail to describe. If you need additional motivation, reflect on the countless stories throughout history of individuals who turned their lives around in a single defining moment. The night Martin Luther King Jr. felt a clarity about his cause that propelled him to leadership he never sought. The night a struggling entrepreneur had a flash of inspiration that launched a global enterprise. The night you or someone you know realized a relationship or job was toxic and decided definitively to walk away. The principle remains the same. A pivot point does not require a long runway. It requires conviction, willingness, and a recognition of the gravity of the moment. After you have prepped your heart, solitude, and prayers or meditations, let the night unfold without forcing it. Sometimes, it is in the quiet acceptance of "let it be done unto me" that breakthroughs occur. If you are inclined toward prayer, pray with an honesty that might make you tremble. If you are more drawn to meditation, still your breath and imagine your old self dissolving into the background, replaced by a version of you that operates in unison with a higher calling. Listen for any internal promptings, a phrase, an image, or a memory that might hold the key to your next step. Let them come, no matter how strange or unexpected, and consider that they might be precisely the catalyst you need. In this process, do not underestimate the power of gratitude. Thank the universe, your creator, or simply life itself for every single challenge and triumph that has shaped you thus far. Gratitude has a way of expanding your spiritual capacity, making room for further revelation. It places you in a posture of receiving, open to the blessings that are waiting to be poured out. And in that posture, you may realize that transformation often arrives clothed in grace, rather than in condemnation. The sense of shame or guilt you might have anticipated can be replaced by overwhelming relief, a realization that you do not have to carry your past burdens any longer. When the dawn breaks and you open your eyes, observe how you feel. Perhaps you will sense an incredible lightness, as though 1,000 weights have been lifted. Perhaps you will see your reflection and notice your posture has changed, shoulders back, eyes clear, jaw unclenched. Maybe your first thought will be one of clarity, an idea or a decision that now feels undeniable. Even if the changes seem subtle, trust them. Seeds do not become towering oaks overnight, but in the right conditions they sprout in a blink. And once a seed sprouts, it is only a matter of time before it bears fruit. You may find that people around you react differently. Some might be drawn to your newfound glow, curiosity glimmering in their eyes as they sense something has shifted in you. Others may be unsettled, as though they no longer quite recognize your energy. That is normal. When you transform, your environment has to recalibrate. Rejoice in that, because it means you are truly breaking old molds. Some relationships will deepen, while others might fade, making space for new, aligned connection. Embrace the dynamic nature of growth. As you walk through your day, you might be tempted to question the night's significance. Resist the urge to downplay what happened. The mind can be a formidable skeptic once the immediacy of an encounter passes. Document your shift in a journal or share it with a trusted mentor, capturing the essence of your transformation before the voices of doubt try to rewrite the narrative. Keep reminding yourself, one night was all it took to alter your perspective forever. Return to that knowledge whenever storms arise. It will be your anchor, proof that miracles aren't just stories you hear from a distance, but lived experiences you can claim as your own. If you still need that extra spark, recall that you belong to a rare 1%. A tiny percentage of souls have the courage, the readiness, and the earnest longing to let a single night become the catalyst for a revolution in their hearts. By reading or listening to these words, by feeling them stir something in you, you are already set apart from the masses who are lulled into complacency by routine. The question is, will you claim your seat at the table of destiny or let the moment pass? Let me circle back to the simple yet profound call to action. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment 777. This triad is more than an algorithmic push. It is a declaration that you are stepping out of the shadows of indecision and into the arena of commitment. It is your way of saying, "Count me in." I refuse to remain the same when a single night of divine realignment stands within my reach. In spiritual or psychological terms, rituals often cement transitions, and this small act can become your modern ritual, a point of contact between your intent and the unfolding reality. One might ask, why the number 777? Because 777 symbolizes completion, perfection, and spiritual fullness. It aligns with the theme of the night, a final, decisive push toward wholeness and transformation. By writing those digits, you affirm that you believe in completeness, in stepping fully into the version of yourself that has lain dormant for too long. Symbols have power when they are backed by genuine faith, and your faith is the currency that activates the extraordinary. Finally, chosen one, understand that even after this one night, the journey continues. A single night can spark a monumental shift, but the days that follow are for integration. You will be called to maintain your newfound clarity through consistent choices and unwavering faith. Do not be discouraged if obstacles appear. In fact, expect them. A newly awakened spirit can attract challenges, partly because your old environment resists change. Each challenge, however, is an opportunity to solidify what you gained. Each test is a chance to prove to yourself and to the world that what happened within you was not a fleeting emotional high, but a deep-rooted metamorphosis that cannot be reversed. Look upon your life with fresh eyes. Dare to dream bigger. Dare to love yourself enough to walk away from what stunts your growth and to lean fully into what propels you forward. Dare to hold your head higher, not in arrogance, but in the quiet confidence of someone who has glimpsed the miraculous. Dare to speak with an authority that resonates from your core, because you are no longer guessing at your worth. You know it in your bones. Tomorrow morning, do not be surprised if you catch your reflection and wonder if it is truly you. It might sound dramatic, but the intangible changes, the posture of your soul, the sparkle in your eye, the resolve in your voice, will make you feel almost unrecognizable. Embrace that feeling. Embrace the sheer awe of transformation and let it radiate into every aspect of your life. Let it transform how you approach your work, your relationships, and your personal dreams. You were chosen for this, destined to break the chains of mediocrity and light a path that others might follow. That is your calling, and all it took was one night of open-hearted surrender. So, step forth boldly, let the new day find you entirely different in the best possible way. The clock is ticking, and that singular night awaits, brimming with possibility, eager to weave its magic into your spirit. The only thing left is your willingness to receive it, your courage to face whatever arises, and your determination to walk through any door that opens. Take a deep breath, feel the anticipation humming in your veins, and remember, just one night, and you won't recognize yourself. That is the miracle reserved for the 1%. Who dare to believe that real change can happen in a divine instant and that you are worthy of receiving it. If you have read this far, then you already sense that this is more than just another message. It is your personalized summons to greatness. Answer the call, chosen one, and rise.